Have you ever realized that you're losing muscle mass without experiencing any pain or discomfort? This silent process is called sarcopenia, a condition where muscles gradually weaken and shrink, particularly after the age of 50. It's one of the leading reasons why many elderly people find themselves relying on retirement homes or struggle with mobility issues. The worst part, some foods can accelerate this muscle loss by up to 40%. Even worse, some of these foods are considered healthy and are likely part of your daily diet, causing damage without you even knowing it. First, white bread, refined biscuits, and pastries, essentially everything made from highly processed flour, might seem harmless at first glance. These foods are staples in many diets. A slice of white bread for lunch, or a sweet pastry with a cup of tea. However, beneath their comforting exterior lies a serious threat to your health. So, why are they harmful? Refined carbohydrates mainly consist of starches that are quickly and easily absorbed by your body without providing the necessary fibers, proteins, and essential nutrients found in whole grains. When you consume them, your body rapidly converts these glucose-based carbs into sugar, leading to spikes in blood sugar levels and triggering a surge in insulin production. Over time, these fluctuations in blood sugar can contribute to chronic inflammation, which directly impacts your muscles. But that's not all. Maintaining strong muscles requires a balanced intake of high-quality protein. However, a diet rich in glucose can disrupt insulin regulation, which prevents muscles from absorbing the amino acids they need to grow and repair. When insulin levels remain high, your body starts storing fat instead of developing or maintaining muscle mass. Prolonged high insulin levels can also lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells stop responding properly to the hormone. Insulin resistance has been linked to sarcopenia, muscle loss, and even an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. If you can't imagine life without bread or pasta, there's no need to deprive yourself. Instead, make better choices. Swap white bread for 100% whole wheat or rye, and choose whole grains like quinoa, legumes, or beans over refined pasta. Balancing glucose intake with proteins and healthy fats helps regulate your blood sugar and promotes muscle maintenance. These small changes can make a big difference in preserving your muscle strength and maintaining your energy throughout the day. Let's talk about something more surprising. A fruit that can weaken your muscles just as much as glucose. Sounds strange, right? After all, fruits are generally considered good for your health, right? Well, not always, especially when consumed in a certain form. Let's take oranges and other fruits rich in fructose as an example. Picture this, a healthy breakfast, and in your mind, what's the go-to choice? A glass of fresh orange juice. For years, we've been told that orange juice is an excellent source of vitamin C, a stimulant for the immune system, and perfectly safe. After all, it's just fruit, right? But here's the catch. Fruit juice can actually be harmful to the health of the elderly. So why is fruit juice bad for your muscles? When fruits are juiced, all that remains is a sweet liquid devoid of beneficial fiber. These fibers are essential because without them, the natural sugars in fruit, especially fructose, quickly enter the bloodstream, causing spikes in blood sugar followed by sudden drops. These fluctuations can tire you out and contribute to muscle weakness over time. Fructose, in particular, is processed mainly by the liver. When you drink a glass of orange or apple juice, your liver gets hit with a large dose of fructose all at once. Any excess fructose is converted into fat, which fuels inflammation and sets the stage for insulin resistance. This means that your muscles may not get the nutrients they need to rebuild and stay strong. The key difference between juice and whole fruit lies in the fibers. Whole fruits, like oranges, contain natural fibers that slow down the absorption of sugar, meaning your body digests it at a more reasonable rate. This avoids the rapid glycemic spikes you get from drinking juice. That's why it's much better to eat a fruit than to drink a glass of juice. So, what are better alternatives? Choose whole fruits over juice. If you enjoy fruity beverages, consider making smoothies that retain the pulp and fibers. Opt for fruits with low fructose content, like berries, which help stabilize blood sugar levels. And hydrate yourself with water or teas instead of sugary drinks. Hold on for the next surprising revelation, a food that many of us eat in search of protein, yet it can actually sabotage your muscles. Not only does it contribute to inflammation, but it can also contain chemicals that block muscle repair. What could this be? The transformed food enemy lurking in your diet: ham, sausage, mortadella, salami. These processed meats have long been marketed as quick and convenient sources of protein, especially for older people, because they're easy to prepare. However, while they do contain protein, they also carry harmful substances that can hinder your muscle health. So why do processed meats destroy muscle? The answer lies in the nitrites and nitrates that are often used to preserve them. Research has shown that these additives contribute to inflammation, a factor that makes muscle repair more difficult. Chronic inflammation accelerates muscle loss, a major issue for older individuals. Processed meats also contain high levels of saturated fats and even trans fats, which can block blood flow by obstructing arteries. When blood flow is compromised, muscles receive less oxygen and nutrients, slowing their recovery and making them more vulnerable to weakness. Another culprit is the excessive amount of sodium found in these meats, which causes dehydration and fatigue. If you've ever felt very thirsty after eating bacon or salami, it's because of the sodium content. Excessive sodium causes the body to lose water, leading to cramps, fatigue, and general muscle weakness. Poor hydration also interferes with muscle contraction and regeneration. Furthermore, while processed meats contain protein, the quality is often inferior compared to that found in whole foods like eggs, fish, or vegetables. These meats are often mixed with starches and other. Here's another surprising culprit that weakens muscles: a food that's been touted as healthy since childhood. We've all been told that vegetables are good for us, and generally that's true. But there's one particular vegetable that could accelerate muscle loss if consumed improperly. Many people eat it every day believing it's healthy, but it could actually be undermining their muscle vitality. What is this vegetable? Spinach. Yes, the same spinach that made Popeye strong could in fact weaken your muscle strength if you're not careful. While spinach is packed with vitamins and minerals, it also contains a compound called oxalate, which can cause real problems when consumed in excess or in certain forms. Oxalate binds to essential minerals like calcium and magnesium, which your muscles need to contract, relax, and rebuild. When oxalate binds to these minerals in your intestines, it forms insoluble compounds that your body cannot absorb, effectively preventing you from benefiting from the calcium and magnesium in the spinach. This means that even if your diet is rich in these minerals, consuming large amounts of spinach can block their absorption, leading to a deficiency. The buildup of oxalate can also lead to kidney problems, which are particularly common in older individuals. Additionally, oxalate interferes with the production of ATP, the energy molecule your muscles rely on. The result? Less endurance, more fatigue, and diminished agility for daily activities. Eating spinach in raw forms, like in salads or smoothies, increases your intake of oxalate. If you eat a lot of spinach this way, you risk weakening your muscles without even realizing it. Should you stop eating spinach? Absolutely not. But how you consume it matters. Cooking your spinach by lightly boiling or steaming it can reduce oxalate levels by about 40%, and discarding the cooking water helps remove some of the oxalate. You can also balance the effects of oxalate by pairing spinach with foods rich in calcium, like sesame seeds or almonds. Moderation is key, as even healthy foods can become problematic if consumed in excess. So while spinach is a popular superfood, if you don't prepare it properly, it could limit your muscle health. So, while some foods might seem healthy at first glance, it's crucial to understand how they impact your body, especially as you age. By making informed choices and preparing your food correctly, you can protect your muscles and overall health. Don't forget to subscribe for more health tips and insights.